The emeralds, worth about 4 million. I got a plan. What it takes all of us. It's a terrible plan.
First of all, congrats on the movie, and thank you to whoever approved the extended interview. I appreciate it.
Oh, great. It's a 4-hour interview. Fantastic.
I wish,
Went from 2 to 4.
Yeah. So I listen, because I have extra time. I'm throwing some curveballs at the beginning. Josh, individual question for you. What does it mean to have all this love? It's like I looked online and it's like 450 reviews for Dune 2, and it's still at 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I hate using that barometer, but what does it mean to be part of a film that is so beloved?
Wonderful. If I answer seriously, it's amazing. And being involved, knowing that I got involved. Actually, you know what? The beginning of Dune happened because Peter and I went into pitch brothers into Legendary, and that's when Dune happened. They were looking for a Gurney Halleck, and it was Mary Parent who was like, "What about one of the guys with the big heads?" And then they just kind of randomly picked, and I happened to be the one.
She meant
an accident, ultimately.
She called Josh instead. It was a bit confusing.
It's nice, man, to be involved. Denise, one of my best friends, and then I ended up doing, which we've talked about, that book with Greg Fraser. So much has come out of it. A lot of great relationships with a lot of actors and so on and so forth.
Peter, I just spoke to you.
What's Dune again? Can you refresh me with what is Dune?
Dune is, by the way, Peter's the one person that hasn't seen it.
I've seen both.
Doesn't even know the book exists.
I've seen both once.
That's huge for you.
Because they're long.
So Peter, I just spoke to you recently for The Thicket, which for people who are watching this and haven't seen The Thicket, fucking see The Thicket. That is a
right. Thanks, man.
Just throwing that out there.
Dude, nobody sees The Thicket.
The Thicket. Something. The reason I really appreciated The Thicket for A, because it's just good filmmaking and performances, but B, it captures that time of where the Old West was ending and technology was coming in. But that's a whole separate thing. But I'm just curious because I brought it up with you before, and I'm going to bring it up with you right now. When can I see the Toxic Avenger? Can you get me a screener?
Oh, man. Ask our lovely Legendary. Yeah, because they Legendary is an incredible company, as Josh was saying. Mary Parent, Caleb Boyder, and I don't know. I think it's a weird time in the movie business right now, and I don't know. I think they just want to wait for the right moment. Maybe it was a big hit down at the Horror Fest. Our friend Macon Blair, who wrote Brothers, wrote and directed Toxic, and we actually shot it like right before Brothers. I had a blast, but I don't know that I'm not a producer on it. It's sort of out of my hands, and I'll hope for the best. I
bring it up just to keep people talking about it, because I really
appreciate that. Yeah,
I really want to see it. So here's a curveball for both of you, and we'll see how fast you answer. If you could actually speak to any director or actor who's passed, someone who's gone, who would you like sit down for an hour and have a real conversation? Who would you want to talk to and why?
Spencer Tracy about the whorehouses.
Yeah,
Peter.
Damn right.
I said mine.
Well,
Peter.
In honor of Dame Maggie Smith, who we lost today, I'd pick her because she just seems like she would be so much fun to spend an afternoon with. I love that lady, and I never met her, but in honor of her passing today, I'll say Maggie Smith.
If both of you could go back in time and play another role, play the role you've played in the past for one more day, is there a character that you would love to revisit for one day?
Oh,
like with made up dialogue, or
no, like
sort of scenario.
No, like and this is a hypothetical, but like if you loved playing on Game of Thrones, like you'd love to go back for one more day and shoot one more day, or Josh,
you loved the character and the experience so much that if you could extend it, which one would it be?
Yeah, I butchered the way I said it, but that's what Josh said.
Got it. Well, Game of Thrones, I spent about 80 hours doing, so I'll probably choose something else because I think everybody had their fill of that, including myself. I mean, I had so much fun making our movie, Brothers. And I love playing JD because he's just so sort of. I'm not saying that because we're here promoting the movie, but I just had a lot of fun with him, and that's the most important thing to me in terms of experience of making a movie. And I just like his sort of loosey goosiness, and it's always fun to play those people with who are good but make a lot of mistakes. So
I think Peter and I had, and I'll answer your question, but Peter and I had fun improvising in the car. I think that was probably the most fun we had.
Yeah.
Improvising in the car, a lot of stuff that didn't end up. It kind of reminded me of when I did Inherent Vice. There was Joaquin and I would do a lot of shit. We would call it Tom and Jerry. I'd look at Paul and say, "You want to Tom and Jerry this?" And he'd go, "Yeah," but then he didn't use it, so obviously it wasn't good.
So I read, could be wrong, that this whole movie is just about the fact that you guys, quote unquote, have big heads, and you thought it would be cool to play brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. Josh called me out of the blue. I think we had met before socially, briefly at something. But I didn't know Josh. He didn't know me. And I got a call from him direct that just said, "Hey, right? My friend told me we should play brothers."
No, several people had told
Several people have mentioned the size of our craniums and the similarity in the enormity of our craniums.
And the fact that we look alike.
Yeah. Well, one's better looking. Leave it to you. Leave it to the viewer at home. And I just thought, you know what? Movies have been made for far less idea. I think that's the beginning of a beautiful movie making experience. And we found great writers to sort of have that come to life. Yeah.
It was fun. It's a chuckle and you get together and you say, "Hey, man, I keep hearing this literally for years." And it's just like, well, we're either going to fucking do something about this or not. I mean, if that keeps coming up from the outside, then why not take advantage of it? And then you start actually getting together with Macon Blair and coming up with stories and personal stories from Peter, personal stories from me, and kind of fictionalizing it and all that. And that's how this whole thing kind of came to be, which was a really fun process in and of itself.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so who is the one who likes to break into safes?
You mean who's the one who has in the past?
Yeah, exactly.
I think you can call that.
Right. So Peter, serious question. What is it like working with someone who doesn't know his lines, messes up every take, and is a producer on the movie, so you can't get rid of him?
Right. You have to carry the burden of responsibility. Well, it's and you have to talk really loud to him because he doesn't understand everything that's going on. You got to talk like he doesn't. It kind of fit the dynamic between the brothers in the movie. I mean, I think I have an older brother, and it's a lot of just giving each other shit, but that means you love them. No, it was a great time.
Yeah, I'm just teasing. I like busting Josh's balls.
Yeah,
I know. Apparently,
is I like it too. I just got a warm fuzzy. Thanks, man.
This is actually a serious one. I'm a huge fan of Emmett Walsh, and this was one of his last roles. So, and you both got to. Anyway, can you talk a little bit about working with him, and did you get to geek out over at all with him?
I unfortunately didn't work the 2 days that Emmett worked, so I missed out, unfortunately. But I heard it was a blast.
It was a blast. It was me, Brandon, and Emmett. Right? Yeah. Do you say Emmett or do you say M?
I actually don't know. I've always said
I don't know
Emmett.
either.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it got to Max was actually amazing with him because he was at an age where he couldn't remember a lot, and he would. Which was actually more fun than how the scene turned out because he'd be like, It'd be like action, and then there'd be a long pause, and he'd go, "Fuck, what is it?" And you got a lot of that, which was they should have kept that in. He was great, man. He was great. It was supposed to be somebody else, and then he dropped out for whatever reasons, and then it turned out to be an even better. The scene that I did with him in his office, I love. I just, when you're sitting there with people who have been around for that long, who you've watched in so many movies, it's kind of an out of body experience. There's a few people that both of us, I think, have been gifted in being able to do that with, and it's special.
The older you get, the more you just sort of really, really respect these character actors.
Yeah.
Because they also, I just work with an older actor. They just, if they're still doing it, they just love what they do so much. And whenever I'm feeling like I'm making the exit from acting, I just look at those people who just show up and do it, and they love doing it. And then it just rubs off on you.
Who did you just work with, Peter?
Oh, nobody special.
I mean, the person you just worked with is one of our greatest actors of all time.
I actually don't know what role you just did.
Oh, I just did a movie with Al Pacino.
Nobody. Yeah, nobody. Yeah, I've never heard of him.
Look at Peter. It actually landed so much that Peter just left our interview. Oh, wow. Oh, dude, did he give you that book? No.
Oh, yeah.
No. It's not even out yet, is it?
Oh, it's no, it's not. Yeah.
I hear you loud and clear.
Jelly.
Wow. My friend, Al Pacino.
Yeah.
I can't say that. You can.
I know.
Good on you. Let's do Brothers 2 now.
I know. Dad? He's got a big head.
He does, sort of.
Yeah.
It's not too often that I get jealous, but that's a nice little that's pretty
special. Yeah.
So I have to touch on one of my favorite scenes in the film is Peter, you're in bed, you're dancing off the bed with Marisa, doing these crazy moves, and then on the bed, and then Josh, is it an orangutan? Is it a monkey? Is it an ape? I don't know what the right term is, but
that's an orangutan.
Yeah, I thought it was an orangutan. That sequence, I was just like, this isn't really, oh my God, they're really doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how we feel too.
That's from the mind of Macon Blair. He introduced Samuel into the script, and when we read it, we're just like, all right, now we're making that. This is everything. This is the core of the whole film.
Yeah, the epicenter.
Yeah,
so you invented the epicenter,
and you want more. You want more of Samuel, but the sad thing is you don't get more. But you want
even though that sequence,
less is more. Yeah,
that sequence goes back and forth. But who's amazing in the film, and this is Marisa is amazing in the film, and that's one of those things that Peter's kind of like this too. Peter does this, like we'd be doing a scene and he'd do something with his hand, and I go, oh, he has Tourette's. Like, what is it? Is he okay? And then you see it in the film and you go, God, he's so good. I didn't realize he was that good. Like, what was I doing? Sitting there jerking off a monkey while you're out acting well. I mean, I don't know, man.
The other thing though is you guys assembled, like the fact that you have Brendan Fraser and Glenn Close and Marisa Tomei.
I know. What are they doing in the movie?
Was this like text messages from one of you being like, can you please come and work?
Well, I always like the thing, like it's like the thicket with James Hetfield from Metallica. Somebody said we should get, we wanted to fill it with like great faces. I always love the thing of we should get somebody like James Hetfield, and I just go, or let's try and get James Hetfield.
James Hetfield, yeah.
We're not chumps anymore, like making student films, So you just roll the dice, and suddenly Glenn Close is playing your mom, and it's like shocking and surprising and exhilarating. But yeah,
it's kind of amazing because it's true. It's just like what he just said. Like when you ask, it's amazing how many people will say yes when you perceive yourself as like, no, nobody's going to want to work with me. I did Jonah Hex. Like, I'm not going to. Nobody wants to work with me. And then suddenly these people get excited. The fact that Brendan did it, I thought was amazing. And it was right before The Whale came out. So we're on set and he's going, yeah, I did this thing and I hope it works. And, you know, did it with Aronofsky. And it's such a funny thing to experience something like that before it's out into the, you know, in public consciousness, you know, and then people are reacting and he's a thing now. And, you know, I still get texts from him. He's such a most humble guy I've ever met in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Literally.
Really. It's timing a lot too. It's like Brendan.
And Glenn Close is the most arrogant person I've ever met.
Oh, she's a monster. Yeah.
Literally.
I already got to stop. I'm just going to say though,
why?
Like I was excited to see the movie just for the two of you, but when you assemble all these other actors that I'm just huge fans of, it just, you know, it helps to get people to seek out the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we got very lucky with who came in to do this film. And
we covered our fan bases. We got the Jonah Hex fan club. We got Fatal Attraction.
We got
The Whale.
Attraction.
And
we got Station Agent.
Tiptoes.
We got those trained people.
Listen, I really got to stop. Good luck with all your speed dating today. I don't know how many interviews you have, but have fun.
All right, man. Good to see you.
Thanks, brother.
Paint those nails next time, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
When I see Josh at New York Comic Con, I'll have painted nails.
Good. I'm glad because I'm not comfortable if you don't have them.
Okay. I'll see you guys later.